Hi, my name's Jonathan Hicks. I'm back at the Dice Cup, and this evening I'm joined by
Andy.
And we've just finished playing The Lost Expedition. Now, we played this as a co-op. There is a competitive variant that I'll explain in a second, but essentially you're racing, here we are, through the jungle to get to El Dorado, I think at the far end here. You have a bunch of characters, you get, we each have health and have a specialty. So this guy's the jungle specialty, navigation specialty, etc. And he has some resources, so there's some food and some bullets. And the way you actually play the game is each of you has a hand of cards, and one at a time you pick one of your cards. So maybe I just pick this first one, and I put it into a line that we're going to build up here. Then Andy picks a card, and we arrange them so they're in order in terms of the numbers. So then maybe I pick this one next, so this is number 2, that's going to go first. Then Andy picks one. So that's going to go at the end. And we carry on going until we've got 6 cards, but I'll just explain how it works with these ones. So these kind of pinky ones give you a choice. You either do this one or this one or this one. And what you're really looking for here, I should say, are these little man symbols. Each one of those, when you get it, lets you advance 1 tile. And if you manage to advance all the way to the end, you win. But you can see in this case, we have to lose 2 health in order to advance. So we've met some kind of natives, it looks like here, who are hostile. So if we kind of charge through and take a few hits, then we get to advance. So you would sort of choose which of your heroes you want to lose the health from. You could just kill off a hero, that's probably not a wise move. Or you could try shooting, so you spend one of your bullets, and you gain some kind of expertise, in this case a kind of camping expertise. And this symbol means you swap the cards. There's a bunch of different symbols on the cards, but they are all explained in these helpful player aids. So you kind of deal with the cards one at a time. The yellow-backed ones are mandatory. So you can kind of acquire, you know, I was saying you get the expertise symbol here. You sort of keep that in front of you. And then if we had a navigation expertise, you could spend that. Otherwise, if you don't, the navigation expert can lose a health in order to get you through that one. This one means you can skip the next card if it's particularly bad. So you're kind of each trying to look at the cards you've got, look at the cards that have been played in the middle, and figure out the best order to play them in. Some of them are going to get you resources, like food here. Others require you to spend resources. Some of them will add extra cards on the end. So you're trying to kind of plan ahead and think carefully about the numbers to make sure you have the right resources to get through all the different encounters that you're going to face. Now, after you've done that for a round, you flip this over. It becomes evening, you spend a food, and then you do the same thing again, playing cards out to get 6 cards. But this time the order doesn't matter. You kind of ignore the numbers, and the order in which they've been played is the order that they're resolved in. So it's a bit different for evening. Every morning and evening you flip this and you lose another food. So it is very much a race to see if you can get through the jungle before all of your characters dies, or you run out of food or something like this. Alright, what do we think?
I quite like it. I love the artwork. The artwork reminds me of Witness, same sort of Tintin-esque artwork, which also made me think that it was actually based on an existing graphic novel or comic book, and it's not. It's based on an actual novel, which apparently is becoming a film soon as well. But beside the point, I played it once solo before playing it as a co-op. And the solo game I played, I found quite tough. It seemed to get the cards that came up just seemed to be sort of a lot of loss. It's sort of like, and I think I ran out of bullets quite quickly, which meant I had to take the other options, which meant losing health or losing food. And I think I got about this card 6, 7, or 8. I think it was card 7 before when I died. Last adventure, I lost their last health. But both games I've played cooperatively have been really easy. When there's a 4-player and a 2-player, and both games just seem to have been really easy. It's like we just seem to have steamrolled it through part way into the second full round. So I don't know if it is just slightly easy. Both games were played on normal and not hard. I think hard, where you lose 1 health per adventurer, might be the way to go. But I do like the game. It reminds me a little bit of Friday by Friday
Yes.
Freeze.
Yeah.
Which is a nice solo game as well. But yeah, I think it may work best as a solo rather than anything else. But Board Game Geek have it currently polled at best with 3 players.
Okay.
I'd give this game about a set. I think about a 7.
All right. Yeah, I didn't mention there's a competitive variant as well, only for 2 players. And the way it works is you each take turns playing cards out, but you can play it into one row here, or you kind of form a second row over here. And then once they've both been laid out, you decide which route out of the 2 routes to take. So that was a really nice idea, I think. Again, like Andy said, really like the artwork, the whole theming of it. It does remind me of Friday, as he says as well, which I really like. I think the artwork might have something to do with that. It's a solid game. It's fairly light. There's not a lot of things to think about on your turn, but certainly, you know, in terms of managing the different resources, the decisions are not always easy, but it's simple and straightforward. Really like the theme. I'd be on a 7 out of 10, I think. Happily play this one. All right, thanks for watching. That was The Lost Expedition.